News 5's Jeff Levkulich in Euclid. The daycare that he wandered away from is about 2.5 football fields away. And look what we found when we got here. The tambourine that Georgie loves to play with that he took from the daycare. They were here at this Shell gas station here. They were getting some drinks, and then suddenly there was a confrontation between the group of friends. And then you see Jose Irvin Jr. running across the street to this Dunkin' Donuts where police found him, and he later died at the hospital. They're being told they have less than 3 days to move out of this apartment building in Euclid. I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich. The city of Euclid says that it's full of fire code violations, and 26 of the 33 buildings are going to be condemned. Water has been flowing down 187th Street here on the southwest side of Cleveland for 10 days now. This is the issue right here. It's a water main break, like so many other places around Cleveland right now. Today, crews were out here drilling in the street to find the problem. For several families who live along West 187th Street, they have seen their water pressure decline dramatically since that main break 10 days ago.
Now we're at about a third pressure.
And the time to do basic things that revolve around turning on the tap has doubled, like taking showers.
We have a hard time with the dishes. We are not able to do our laundry. It takes too long to fill, so then it turns off. We've had to take loads to the laundromat to get them done, and yeah, just causing a lot of additional stress and work that has to be done.
It's the same story just across the street for another resident. His front yard is starting to sink in after 10 days straight of water bubbling out of the ground.
We're down to about a third to a half of the water pressure in the house. I'm not the only one.
The residents told me while they are patient, they also have called the City of Cleveland Water Department multiple times over the last 2 weeks. They said crews came out once early on when it first broke, and again Tuesday morning. But they continued to deal with more water pressure in the street than in their house.
I understand that it's not geysering, it's not, big issues, but, it is detrimental to other people and normal, house life.
Look at this. I mean, we have water shooting up from the tree lawn and a river flowing in the street. And my big concern here is this has been flowing for almost 11 days now.
Noelle Morovic told me she decided to call News 5 to get the answers.
I reached out because I care about my neighbors. The more that water runs, it erodes things, and the road
called the City of Cleveland Water Department multiple times over the last 2 weeks. They said crews came out once early on when it first broke, and again Tuesday morning. But they continued to deal with more water pressure in the street than in their house.
I understand that it's not geysering, it's not, big issues, but, it is detrimental to other people and normal, house life.
Look at this. I mean, we have water shooting up from the tree lawn and a river flowing in the street. And my big concern here is this has been flowing for almost 11 days now.
Noelle Morovic told me she decided to call News 5 to get the answers.
I reached out because I care about my neighbors. The more that water runs, it erodes things, and the road is already a mess. So now we're going to have erosion issues on the road, possibly erosion issues on people's properties. It's a safety hazard.
I reached out to Cleveland's Division of Water. A department spokesperson told me in a statement, our repair crews as well as contractors are working hard to address the breaks as quickly as possible. We prioritize breaks based on several factors, including the severity of the break, number of customers affected, and overall system integrity. The Water Division spokesperson confirmed to me that crews were out on West 187th Tuesday to begin the repair process on a 6-inch main. That crew that was out here today will be back out here tomorrow to finish the repairs. In Cleveland, I'm News 5. We're on the 4th floor now. A family member told us that he was taking the trash out from his sister's place here to the rubbish room. But somehow he got shot. When police arrived, they found him down the hall and in this stairwell. You can still see the crime scene tape. To Christian Olsen. I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich in Brunswick Hills. He died more than 2 months ago under suspicious circumstances, and his family wants answers.
Heartbreaking. It's like tearing a wound open every day.
For the past 9 weeks, Rochelle and Chris Olsen sat in silence over the death of their youngest and Rochelle's only biological child, Christian.
We were told from the beginning to be quiet, to not say anything by the authorities because of the investigation. They didn't want to damage the integrity of the investigation or hamper the investigation.
According to Brunswick Hills Police, Christian Olsen went to a small party on Topaz Lane on July 12th with some friends. He sustained injuries at the party. Investigators say his friends do not know how he was injured. The friends drove Christian home.
When we got up, we seen him and we noticed like
He looked scuffed.
he looked like he had been accosted. Roughly stopped breathing shortly afterwards.
He left here in one piece and came home broken.
Chief Tim Sopkovich told News 5 they have no suspects at this time in Christian's case. His family dons T-shirts with Christian's picture and the words "Long Live Christian" on them. They spent Thursday putting up flyers that were taken down in the area of Topaz Lane.
I am just baffled that a young man who was so full of life, who had so much potential, and his life was taken and no one is saying anything about it.
What was supposed to be Christian's graduation party from high school turned into a celebration of his life.
He died on the 13th and his graduation party was the 20th. He was so excited about that.
He was so excited about his graduation party. He was very proud of himself.
They described their son as independent and hardworking. He spent 6 nights a week as a manager of Marco's Pizza, saving up money to buy a car. He was an usher at his church with the love of music.
Music.
Yeah, he loved to sing.
Music.
Oh, he loved to sing.
He couldn't sing a lick.
Yeah, but he would take you to karaoke town.
And he also had a love of animals.
Loved 4-H, loved animals, loved pigs. Very, very thoughtful young man.
His pig actually won grand champion at the Cuyahoga County Fair this year.
His parents say while his dreams changed often, Christian was set on a future as a high-wire lineman for the power company.
He had so many goals and stuff that are not gonna.
If you have any information as to how Christian died, you're asked to call Brunswick Hills Police at the number on your screen. In Brunswick Hills, Levkulich, News 5. Quiet Thursday afternoon here on Notches Avenue ended with 4 people shot. 2 of them died, including who police say is the suspected gunman, a 22-year-old. And police say he shot himself as he was running from officers here from this scene. I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich, and today we're here in Old Brooklyn, where this all unfolded right here on the street. Police say as a verbal argument between the suspect and a 24-year-old woman quickly escalated to gun violence. For one man here, he says he saw the entire thing play out right in front of him, and he only spoke to News 5 about what he witnessed. Cleveland police swarmed Notches Avenue as calls to 911 poured in about a gunman shooting in broad daylight.
I was in my backyard on West 30th over here, and with a buddy, and heard about 5 gunshots at first, and the next round were about 6 to 7 gunshots.
But for Zachary Joseph Cameron, the street where he has lived for the last 3 years will never look the same after what he witnessed.
I was in my bedroom and I heard 3 gunshots. The shooter came out of the house. He kind of just casually walked down the street until he saw them crouched there. Pretty much all they had a chance to do was say, "Please don't," and he shot multiple times. I'm shaken. I don't think I've quite processed it yet.
Zach says the gunman never saw him, and he immediately ran back into the house.
I was just concerned with my family's sake. My wife was just picking up my kids from daycare street over, so it's a little bit disheartening.
Zach told me after he speaks with investigators who spent the evening processing this scene well into the night, he plans to seek therapy, but believes it will never fully erase everything, including the look on the face of the 22-year-old who police identified as the suspect.
His face as he walks towards them and the face of the male who was still alive after I came downstairs and the shooter was gone will never leave my brain. What you see in movies is a different thing. It doesn't normalize this.
It's been a somber scene as family members are just in shock over what happened here. And the Cleveland police, they tell us that the other 2 victims, a 21-year-old female and a 26-year-old male, they are still recovering in the hospital from their injuries. There's still many questions about what actually happened here. In Cleveland, I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich. A local couple says they've been caught in a vicious cycle just trying to make an appointment here at the Social Security Administration office in Lakewood. I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich. The SSA admits there's problems, but did they fix it?
Hurt, frustrated, disrespected.
Gloria and Walton Britton told me they have lost faith in the system. They say trying to get through to someone at the Social Security Administration's office is impossible.
All my life I'm paying taxes, and I would expect a little bit better in return.
The couple moved to Avon Lake last month and began changing their address for things like credit cards and other bills, including Social Security, so that they were sent to the right location.
I gave up one day after 3 hours, sitting on hold, and did not even get a callback Social Security option.
They even tried to log in through the SSA's website, but they could never get to the page they needed to make the address change or even set up an appointment.
The one time I did get in, I got all the way to change address. And it was a nice little link. Oh, it's a nice blue link highlighted. Click on it. Takes you to another page. Same thing.
I contacted the Social Security Administration and asked them if there is an issue with their system. A spokesperson told me in a statement, quote, "In our ongoing commitment to serve the public more efficiently, we expanded appointment-based services at our local Social Security offices. We acknowledge that some customers are currently experiencing challenges with making appointments due to long wait times. If any customers are unable to get through to their local office, they can also schedule an appointment by calling this number, 1-800-772-1213, which also has a callback feature."
What happened?
Nothing. I had done all that already once, so why was I going to try again if I saw that the phone number was the same? I had already tried setting up the account and knew that once you got in, that you're going to just be in a never-ending loop.
So we reached out again to the SSA to help the couple with their problem.
I don't know what we would have done if you guys had not stepped in. And the fact that I was shocked, dumbfounded, that he called. And he mentioned you guys, and he said, "You called Channel 5? You called a reporter?" I said, "Yes," because I couldn't get through.
Now, while they did get some resolution, we did reach out again to the Social Security Administration to find out if they're going to change their website or their phone system to make sure that other people can get through. So far, we have not heard back from them, but we'll keep checking. In Lakewood, I'm News 5's Jeff. Georgie was playing in this puddle for about 15 to 20 minutes before anyone knew he was even here. I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich in Euclid. The daycare that he wandered away from is about 2.5 football fields away. And look what we found when we got here. The tambourine that Georgie loves to play with that he took from the daycare.
High fives.
I think so. The older you get, the more.
I love you.
For Basha, Tenori, David, George, and their 4-year-old son, Georgie, it's been a Tuesday they will never forget.
Go ahead, get in, dude.
In your seat, please.
Every morning they drop their kids off at Hannah's Child Development Center on Euclid Avenue.
Dropped them off before work. Got him there around 7:05. He went in the classroom. Everything was fine.
But not long after, Basha says she got a call from Euclid police.
And he was like, "I just want you to know that your son is okay." And I'm like, "Excuse me? Like, what do you mean my son is okay? I know he's okay. He's a daycare." No, he said he was found down the street.
Security from a nearby business shows little Georgie trekked from Hannah's daycare to play in a large puddle for about 20 minutes.
He just happened to like puddles, so thank God he was playing in a puddle and found before he made it to the street.
Luckily, a driver spots him, stops, and takes Georgie to the workers at Early Achievers Daycare.
Another parent from another center reported to that other center asking if anyone knew the child. They didn't.
The workers at Early Achievers figured out pretty quickly that Georgie, who has autism, wandered away from Hannah's daycare about 700 feet away.
Thank God, he's safe. But still a little shaken up. Like, I'm still shaking a little. But yeah, I just lost for words.
I'm gonna catch you.
His parents now just want to know how Georgie, who's very verbal, got out unnoticed.
How did he get out of the classroom? How did you not notice that he got out of the classroom? What am I paying you to do?
We went to Hannah's and returned the tambourine Georgie was playing with, but the workers told me they had no comment at this time.
And the response I got from the daycare, it was very nonchalant, very just, we don't know, no way of finding out, and no care to find out what happened.
A search of state inspection records for Hannah shows a handful of violations for building issues, which were corrected. But we also found a complaint from November of 2022. The daycare was cited for leaving a child unsupervised by themselves in a classroom. It was corrected in January. Georgie's parents say they won't be bringing their kids back to that daycare anymore. And they say, parents, you should do your homework. In Euclid, I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich. Used to being called out to some unusual and some bizarre calls. Good evening, I'm Jeff Levkulich. But recently the squad at Station 30 were called to help a couple with an unusual problem. And it could have saved not only the day, but even their marriage. It was a beautiful autumn day for Nikki Mack and Corey Berbitsky. The couple were all smiles as they posed for pictures at the Cultural Gardens in University Circle.
We were taking our engagement photos, which had been rescheduled a couple times because of Cleveland being Cleveland.
But the Cleveland curse was present that day as the photographer noticed something out of place.
Corey had something on the back of his pants, so I went to wipe it off. And when I wiped it off, my ring flew off and we just heard a ta-ting.
The ring had rolled into a nearby sewer drain. Nikki kept cool because they could see the ring in the drain. But Corey's reaction was a little different.
Yeah, I would say my heart dropped.
But it wasn't thousands of dollars in gold and diamonds that Corey saw just go down the drain. It was something even more valuable.
But for us, we have a lot of sentimental value in the ring. A lot of different aspects of my family and her family are kind of forged in that.
The diamond baguettes on the sides came from both Nikki and Corey's grandmother's rings.
So as part of that, I wanted to kind of symbolize us merging our families together in the ring itself.
And like many cats stuck in a tree, the couple called for help, and the Cleveland Fire Department came out to retrieve the ring from the sewer.
I mean, they swung into action and were just extremely helpful to us in the whole situation.
Pretty calm too. So
yeah,
I think that helped.
Definitely gave us the assurance that we're going to get this thing out. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We've got this.
So you guys are thanking them beyond belief.
Their wedding photographer, Emily Ruth, kept snapping away and captured the moments of the day.
She did just a phenomenal job in staying calm, making sure she can get good photos of the firefighters and then great photos of us after too.
And the ring came out of the Cleveland sewer sparkling like new. The couple thanked the firefighters for their help in reuniting them with their ring.
We're hoping to send them something in the mail real soon too. Yeah. Maybe even an invitation.
And they told me they still have to get the ring resized so that it doesn't slip off again. They plan to do that very soon. In Cleveland, I'm News 5's Jeff Levkulich. This is Bunce Road in Lakewood right now. As you can see, there's plenty of traffic that comes up and down this road. Residents say next year the city wants to make some improvements. One of those things is a 10-foot bike lane, but some say they don't want it.
Just about every tree will be taken out. The tree lawns will be of varying sizes as we understand it, but at least about half the size they are now.
Shannon Morden is one of several residents who lives along Bunce Road, fighting back against the city's plan to construct a bike lane.
It's a busy street. Most of the day, it can be hard to get out of the driveways. Most of the time, you have to be a little bit aggressive and hope that somebody's going to be nice and stop for you.
Matt Herberger says they believe the project was to make improvements to the street's infrastructure.
Well, we were notified in May of 2024 via letter that all these repairs were going to be done. And we had knowledge that there was going to be sewer replacement. We didn't know the extent. That meeting took place, and that was the first time that we became aware that there was a plan to build a 10-foot sidewalk or a multimodal path on the streets.
A wider sidewalk means less green space and right-of-way. They believe the bike lane would be best served on other streets in the city. But at this week's City Council meeting, some residents voiced support.
One major advantage of this plan is that it provides a dedicated, separate space for people to participate in active transportation, such as walking, running, and biking. This will add necessary protection for our most vulnerable road users.
The project was already approved and will be funded by Surface Transportation Block Grants, ODOT, and the City of Lakewood. Lakewood's mayor told residents it's too late.
We did modify the plan a bit based on the feedback overwhelmingly, the feedback was supportive of the project, and again, it is past the time for changes.
Tom Bullock, who is counsel at large, told me that he is trying to assist those residents, but so far he doesn't have any news to share just yet. We're on the 4th floor now. A family member told us that he was taking the trash out from his sister's place here to the rubbish room, but somehow he got shot. When police arrived, they found him down the hall and in this stairwell. You can still see the crime scene tape. Just before 2 p.m. Wednesday, Cleveland police converged on this apartment building in the 1800 block of 13th Street in downtown.
I was not shocked to see the police, but I was shocked to see a kid leaving out of here, yes.
This man who called himself Sir has lived in the building for the last 5 years. He told me he's devastated to hear that a 14-year-old boy was shot, and even more devastated to hear he didn't make it after being transported to the hospital. Cleveland police are still investigating the shooting. They've not ruled it a criminal homicide yet.
The concern that we have in this building, to be honest with you, is you see there's no cameras. Okay? That's a concern.
A closer look revealed that cameras were originally in the hallway, but residents say they were stolen.
You see their hand come up like this, grab the camera off, and that's how they took all the cameras off.
There's also concern over the security who oversees who comes in and leaves the building.
When security allow anybody to walk in here, that's a concern.
And there's also concern about the elevators. For an 18-story building, at least 2 of the 4 appear not to be working.
They had to climb up the stairs to get to the young man.
Well, yeah, we heard it was they could not get to
The elevator doesn't go on all the floors here in this building.
The boy's family we spoke with off camera and others in the building believe issues with the elevator took precious time away from paramedics who were trying to get to the boy and save his life. We reached out to the property management company, RHM Real Estate Group, that owns the building, but so far, no response. And anyone with information is asked to call Cleveland Police. In Cleveland, I'm News 5's Jeff.
And Jeff, police believe the victim's newest killer?
That's right. Well, the victim has been identified as Jose Irvin Jr., and he was with a group of people who it appears just had left a bar just moments earlier. They were here at this Shell gas station here. They were getting some drinks, and then suddenly there was a confrontation between the group of friends, and then you see Jose Irvin Jr. running across the street to this Dunkin' Donuts, where police found him, and he later died at the hospital.
I don't want nothing else.
It was a 2:43 a.m. pit stop for Jose Irvin Jr. and his friends. You can see Irvin and a woman ordering food and drinks from the window of the Turney Pit Stop Shell station. As the two return to their car, Irvin and another man in a white shirt get into an argument. A struggle ensues, and then it's broken up by the females in the group. As Irvin backs away, you can see the man in the white shirt open up his black bag that is wrapped around his shoulder. He reaches inside and pulls something out. That's when you see Irvin take off running across Turney Road toward the Dunkin' Donuts, with the man in the white shirt giving chase. We've stopped the video here because this is where we believe Irvin was shot. You can hear multiple gunshots. Irvin can then be seen tripping on a curb across the street. The man in white trips as well in the dark. He then gets up, and then you hear another shot fired.
Oh my God.
Irvin died at the hospital from his injuries.
I never met somebody with the same birthday as me.
News 5 met Jose Irvin Jr. last August. He and Sierra Blair share the same birthday. What made the couple stand out was they celebrated their birthday with twins, all 4 born on the same day. And I did talk to police today. They said their investigation is moving fast. This intersection is busy. It's a main thoroughfare here in Garfield Heights. There's cameras everywhere, but majority of it was caught on the gas station security cameras. That's where we got the video footage. I did talk to the family today, and they are